Welcome back to the Mercenaries TV. My name is Sebastian, and in this short video I want to introduce you to a scoreboard that I did for the Mercenaries 3D game. I had this idea a couple of days ago, and actually the last 2 days I sat down and basically configured this scoreboard and just finished it, so I can show it to you now and talk a little bit about what went through my mind when creating it and what purpose this thing shall serve. Many of you that are familiar with the Mercenary minigame know that if you're in the stage selection screen, you basically can see the high score for any given stage. What many of these iterations, however, do not show is which character you have used to achieve that score, which is something that has bothered me ever since. And of course, this feature is also missing from the Mercenaries 3D, a game that could have really benefited from this feature since it has 8 different characters and many different maps. And what's so different in Mercenaries 3D is that there is not a meta character which is the best on every stage. So naturally, for people to get the highest score on all maps, they have to change between characters. And yeah, that's actually a great feature, but yeah, it would have been great to have a individual score display for every character. So the main reason I created this scoreboard is mainly for myself to track my own progress, of course, but during the work on this thing, I noticed that there are a bunch of things I could do within a PDF file, especially an interactive PDF file like this one. And I just want to show you the features of the scoreboard. It's, I think, pretty straightforward, of course. And the main purpose, I think, is tracking my own progress, but also having a source where people that enter the channel can just look at this thing and just figure out what runs have been done and yeah, just find what they're looking for very quickly and very easily. So let's talk about the structure of this thing first. You can see there are 4 different boards in total on this thing. The first 3 are for the different mission levels in this game, which starts with mission level 4, mission level 5 and also mission level X, which basically for people that don't know the Mercenaries 3D, these mission levels are like difficulty levels and also like different setups for the maps. So say for example, a map like Village has mission 4.1, that is Village, and also mission X1, that is also a Village map. It's the same map, one is at night though. But what's different is the enemy setup and the difficulty basically of these enemies. So yeah, mission level 4, like said, the easiest. Mission level X is the hardest. And then on the bottom, I have a overall board to kind of showcase the total score I have got with a character, which is comprised of all the scores that I have achieved with that character on all missions. So yeah, that's the basic layout of this thing. Pretty straightforward, like I said. Additionally, you can also see the total score for every character on a mission level. So say for example, I played all level 4 missions with Jill. I can see the total score with her, and that is basically the combined sum of all the individual scores that I got on all the maps. And on top of that, I also have a total column for showing the total score for any given stage, which is also pretty interesting. If you play on a map like, say for example, X1, you played with every character, you can see the total score of that as well. So the beauty of a scoreboard like this is that it's pretty much the best tool to track your own progress in the game. And since there are different players and different play styles, it's also very helpful. As for example, some players like to stick to one character and try to max that character out and yeah, just play them on every stage. And then there are players which are like more versatile and like to play different characters or pretty much all the characters and just see how good they can be. And a scoreboard like this, where it's like split up between the characters, is very helpful for that. One additional feature of this scoreboard is the color coding of the scores. There are 3 different colors, and the black ones are just basic scores. The red ones, which is also here in the top right box where it says the red ones are actually world record or at least the highest recorded run. And then there are these orange ones, which basically are the total scores. Of course, it is difficult to really track what the world records in this game are, since there are no leaderboards in-game. But back in the day when the community was still active, I think the best players made themselves known by putting up YouTube videos and also trying to get into contact with each other, the ones who played this game seriously. And yeah, there are still some scores and some videos up on YouTube of some of the highest scores in this game. And what I will also say is that there is a lot of like niche stuff which hasn't really been done in this game. But I mean, it's very vast. There are so many different ways you can play this game, and especially with some of the weaker characters, people really haven't maxed them out. And so I try my best to actually look into the scores that have been done in the past to see if one of my scores is actually a world record, or like I said, at least the highest recorded or the highest known score. One of the best features of the scoreboard, however, is that every score is basically clickable, and if you click on it, you will be redirected to YouTube to see the run for yourself. Now, this I think will come really in handy later down the line when I have produced way more content. As of right now, there are only 3 scores on my channel. But later down the line, if it gets messy, I think it's pretty great to have this PDF to look, to find a certain score with a certain character and yeah, just watch the video. So that's also something. So you can just click the scores on here and it will redirect you to my YouTube channel. There are 2 different ways to access this scoreboard, and it's, I think, dependent on the system that you're viewing YouTube on. If you are on a PC, and I think the bigger ones, also TV, there's a little box where it basically displays the link in the YouTube banner itself. And if you're on mobile, or if you can't find it otherwise, there's also the channel info page where it displays all the links, and there it says the Mercenaries 3D scoreboard, and you can just click on it and that will redirect you to Google Drive, where you can view the PDF right away, and then you can see all the scores, and from there on you can click on whatever run you want to see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. So in order to populate this scoreboard and pretty much have a lot of content on it, also for people which are interested in it, maybe they want to learn a certain strategy, or they just generally are interested in watching runs, I want to populate this board by putting out way more raw content, which is unedited and like no music basically, and no commentaries and stuff, because it takes a lot of time to render videos, to edit them, and yeah, putting out raw stuff I think will speed up the process, and I can put out way more runs. And also what I want to do is just put out some runs which are not the optimal score, or just showing the grind that I'm doing, because if we're honest, Mercenaries is such a grindy game. And yeah, I mean, people very often take like weeks or even months to achieve a certain high score, and sometimes people are too hard on themselves and only want to show the best results that they can get. But I think there's also a beauty in just showing the grind and putting out videos which are not like a super high score, but generally just a run on a certain stage. So yeah, I will put out more raw content to populate it, and yeah. So that's pretty much it for the scoreboard, I think. I just wanted to make a quick video on it, making people aware that it's a thing now and how they can view it. And I will probably in the future do a video on how to set up Citra and play Mercenaries 3D on your PC. Some people have been asking me how to do it, and I think, yeah, it's great if there is a guide on YouTube for anyone who's interested. And additionally, I also want to make a follow-up video on my RE4 Remake's first impression video of the Mercenaries mode, because after 2 weeks of looking at gameplay and playing it for myself, I pretty much lost my interest in it because of the scoring system. I think it's horrendous, and the meta is really not a lot of fun, at least for me. But yeah, that's it, I think, for this video. Have a good day, guys, and may the living God bless you in Jesus Christ's name, and peace until the next one.